So I want to talk about this for a second. This is going to be really quick. It's important to separate the art from the artist. This is just a little spiel on Donald Glover. Donald Glover's weird, but he also has a niche perspective. So Donald Glover's like that black guy who lives in like, or who grew up in like a white space. If you guys know Albright, that like black tech dude, he's like, Donald Glover is like Albright. To me, they're like the weird black kids, and it's just like they're not in drug culture or criminality or gangs or anything. And so like white culture openly like accepts them as like this token for like black culture, but like in reality, the people who are able to explain and kind of like translate black culture are people who are more like Jay-Z or P. Diddy. See how like they know how to explain shit, but they're just like cool. Like those are just like cool ass black dudes. Like Childish Gambino or I forgot dude's name. Yeah, he's not that. He's just like he's able to give this like niche perspective, which like every perspective, like every person is an individual. But Donald Glover, yes, that is definitely his name. His perspective doesn't really represent a collective. And I think that it's really great that we have shows like Atlanta, but that's just for representation and not storytelling. In the black community, unfortunately, we have not gotten to a space where we can actually tell complex and good stories on screen that are like in the 21st century. We don't have any TV shows about like normal black life, right? That are like the 2022 version. Maybe Insecure season, the last season. Okay, yes, because you have like black people at Stanford. They've got jobs in tech. They're like flying around places. They've got relationships. That maybe actually Insecure in terms of just like its depiction of like scenarios and situations and the way that people communicate, the terminology that they use. But like, I don't know who doesn't know this. Atlanta is still in Georgia, and Georgia is the South, and Georgia is like so far behind the rest of the world. The average like median income in Atlanta is like $50,000 or something. It's like hella low. So if you're making that, you're doing like well in Georgia, like $40,000. That's like the poverty line in the Bay Area. That's not even you can't you can't live off that money. It's not enough. Um, so what I'm saying is Atlanta, even though it's full of black people, it's like 20 years behind like the Bay Area or like New York or something. It's still Atlanta. This contextually, right? Like we're talking about like AI and robots. Like there's literally a robot. Yesterday when I was on the train in the city, there was like a robot. It was just like riding down the street. So they're not really talking about that in Atlanta. But there are hella people in Atlanta. So I don't want to take that away. But so another part about that. So I think that Donald Glover interviewing himself is an excellent idea. I think it's like a lovely idea. All the people criticizing Donald Glover and his relationship to black women, okay, I think we're gonna just have to move past the fact that like people have interracial relationships or whatever, and that like black guys are dating white women. Like whoever everyone wants to date and marry, that's their own fucking business, really. So kind of the whole conversation around like a hotep or like whoever's who because you don't have a black wife. I think that we at this point have to like really, because I feel like when I was younger, I was just looking for a representation and not like a ton. I mean like one representation of like a healthy black family. But I feel like at this point we have like hell of them. You have like Kelly Rowland and her husband, Beyonce and her husband, Sierra and her husband. You have so many black couples that you can follow at this point that you're not just looking at the Huxtables anymore for like healthy relationships. You got quite a lot that you can like look to. Actually, at this point, Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey. Okay, so like you shouldn't be looking to the childish Donald Glover to be like a representative of a healthy black relationship because he's not in one, but also like he's never been that guy. Like never. Like he's never going to be that guy who's like a representative for the black community. Donald Glover has a very niche lived experience that many people cannot relate to. And that's okay. Because like his voice matters too. But I think we just have to realize it just doesn't represent all or most of us. And that's okay.